Well, we got to this far tonight. These old Dodge frames are a real son of a gun, I'm telling you. They've got that sway back mountain frame to them where they're flat over top the axles and they come way down. It's probably some kind of an arch for strength, but they're a real son of a gun for an outfitter to do something with. We got us 3-on-3, 3-inch C-channel crossing over 3-inch C-channel. I built these little mounts, these little pedestals, and that's flat bar on the bottom, and it's a piece of flat bar standing up, and that's a piece of 2x2 angle, and it's pyramided inside of it. The bigger one over there's got 2 inside of it. Should be plenty strong. I got it all tacked together good. The guys, they stayed over and helped me a few minutes. Appreciate it very much. We got them all in, and I was just going around. And this truck had a crane on it, and years ago when they put the outfitter put the crane body on it, they've added extra additional supporting in the frame. Well, I was going to take a torch and cut all that out, but no truck needs some love. It's got some rust and stuff. It needs a little bit of love on it. It ain't got no miles, but it needs some love. So I didn't want to take anything off of it. So I'll just add a piece to it on this side and it make up the difference. Well, it did somewhat, but it still needed a little bit more. So I just pried it up and stuck another piece of 1/4-inch flat bar in there. And I think I got it. It was setting down pretty bad on this corner, so I've raised it up. I'm trying to get it all level where it needs to be before I go around. I gotta go around all the sides and weld all this up. I gotta weld all these up, all the way down through here. And I don't want to weld all them together before I get it squared up where it needs to be, because once I get it squared up where it needs to be, that's the end of it. Pretty straight down through here, ain't it? This side might not be as good, I don't know. It's pretty good. The bed's 8 foot wide, 10 foot long. I wanted to shorten it up or narrow it down a little bit where it wasn't overhanging the tires so bad, but Chump he's wanting it to haul with, and I put them on 1 foot centers, which is really heavy. It's a heavy bed. It's going to be a heavy bed, but he's going to haul block on it and axles, mostly block. So I didn't want to build a bed and it start sinking down on me and stuff. But I really think it's going to do him good. I think by the time I get it done, it's going to do him good. I've been sitting back here in my thinking chair, which is what I do a lot, looking at the hind end of this thing, trying to get an idea of how I'm going to skirt the back end of it. I got a reese hitch laying outside. It's the one I cut off of it. I'm going to probably put it back on. I got to doctor it up. It goes back on underneath the frame, and I really probably need to get it attached to the frame before I do too much of the skirting, but I think I'm going to come down at an angle and then come across and then go back up at an angle. I don't think I'm going to get too fancy. I was going to run some C-channel down, attach it to the C-channel, make it look like it's got some push horns on the back, but I'm not going to get that fancy with it, I don't think. I think I'm just going to put him a skirt all the way across the back. I'm going to let it hang down about 18 inches back here at the middle of the frame. Then I think I'm going to bring it over, and it's going to come up 12 inches maybe, and then go out and then come up again. I may stair step it. I may just go from 0 down to 18 inches. I don't know. I kind of like the 18 inches. I think I may just take it up and then just leave it hanging down 12 inches here, and then maybe bring it down, and then I need to add a piece going this way to tie it all together and make it stout. Just sitting in this thinking chair here, looking at it, thinking about it, making sure I had it leveled up before I really let in on her. Let me show y'all a little trick. Now, I called my brother this morning to get some reassurance that I was going to be doing this right. But this is a C-channel, and it's sitting on a piece of flat bar. Now, I went ahead and got 2-inch. I could have got 1.5 inches, but I got 2-inch because I use a lot of 2-inch. And basically what you do is you tack that flat bar on underneath of your frame rail that you're going to make. We'll get up underneath here, you might be able to see a little bit better. All right, That's a piece of 2-inch flat bar. And what you do is you tack that in places underneath there. You don't go crazy with tacking it, you just tack it. And every time you put a cross member in, you tack your flat bar to your 3-inch C-channel, your frame rail. Every time you put a cross member, you do that. And you do it all the way up through there. And what that does is that'll keep that 3-inch C-channel from rearing up like a banana whenever you're building your bed. I don't know who actually showed, I think my brother showed it to me years ago, but I learned that a long time ago, and I called him this morning, was talking to him, and he's like, yeah, make sure you do it this way and that way. My brother is extremely smart, extremely good fabricator. So that's why that's in there. That's to keep that frame rail from curling up. We got this, I just went ahead, I didn't go with a piece of channel on the outside, I just went with a piece of 1/4 inch wide, 1/4 inch thick, 4-inch flat bar, and that let it hang down a little bit, give you a pretty good little heavy skirt. And then I've got some scrap of this 3-inch C-channel. We'll cut it up and I'll make little stake pockets all the way down through here. And then I'm gonna take and wrap it's 3/8 thick or 1/2 inch thick flat bar, and it goes all the way down. It's called a rub rail. And that gives you plenty of room to attach and strap down your load. I think it looks good. I think it's gonna look all right. I really do. I think it's gonna look all right. So let's get to welding here and touching up this end. Well, let's move the welder. One of the reasons why, when I built this place, I made sure that I put these welding receptacles in on the walls, so that way I can move my welder around as I need to. I don't know what's wrong with that receptacle. It gives me headaches all the time. Went today and I got me a new cap for my gun, new nozzle for my gun, some new tips. Of course, I'm a sucker for blue. And my welding jacket, it had it. So I just said, well, I don't want to leave this building with any money. So just give me whatever you got. Basically, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got about 5 cross members left to weld up. And I got to touch a couple stitches up here and there, but we just about got this. Just about got this one for tonight. I'm not really looking forward to painting this thing, I can tell you that. said he'd rather have this all squared up. So, whatever he wants, we'll do. More of a usable surface like this, don't get me wrong. Clean and fine tomorrow. Now what we got to do, oh, there you are. Now what we got to do is, I'm going to go ahead and anticipate putting some wiring in this truck bed here, but I don't want to be drilling a bunch of holes running wires. So we usually what I get is some washers, and it don't really, I mean, you can use flat, but sometimes I'll just get me a handful of these half-inch, some half-inch lock washers. Then you can just get you a pair of, I got a pair of Nico's vice grips. Hold them up there and just bust your little bird on them. It's good enough for the girls we go with. That way, whenever you run your war, and war is different than wire. War is a lot different than wire. So I just buzz me a few of them around there, and give you something to, tie the war to. Be hateful. Hey. I need to go get my dip. I bought some stuff every day. It's supposed to keep this stuff from happening. And it cleans out a lot easier. See how much easier that cleans out? You just pull on it a little bit and it just pops right out of there. But She good and warm. Ow! Yeah, she's pretty clean. Let me get that nozzle stuff. It's pretty good stuff. I got it down here today. You just dip your nozzle down in it, which is good and hot, like right now. And you just turn him up, let him run down in there. Makes it a splatter will just about fall out of the thing. Let's get these things welded in here and we'll go to the house. See, it don't take much. You just need just a little one there to hold him. And that way you can run your wires in that. You'll be in good shape. I'll check back with you in a minute. Okay, we got all of our wire looms in. They go down and they follow the inside of this frame rail all the way to the back. Then I can pop it up and I can run it all the way down that frame rail and that cross member and inside of this cross member. And that should keep all of my wiring up out of the way. Oh. You can see him down through there. And then here's where the wiring's going to come in. This is part of it. It's boogered. It's all boogered up, nasty looking. So we'll bring it up and tie it into this. And that'll give us a nice central location. You'll be able to access it. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a bear. I'm still doing some thinking about how I'm going to make all this stuff up. But all of your cross members are all welded in. All the insides and everything, it's all doubled up. We're ready to put the floor on it tomorrow morning. So as soon as the guys get here in the morning, we'll grab us a couple sheets, bring it in here. I think they're going to have to cut some because I forgot to allow for 49 inches instead of 48. They actually give you a little bit for some reason. But I'll have to, the first piece, we'll back set it up to where whenever I run the skirt up, I can tie it all in on this back side. It'll come over, it'll hit 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll hit right here, and then the next one will be 1, 2, 3, 4, be right there. So, it'll be up one, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll hit here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll hit there, and then we'll have to trim that side up probably, because I don't want to put scabs or anything inside of here. I'd rather it hit on the cross member, it'd be a lot stronger. We'll marry them together and we'll get it all tacked in good. Then whenever we flip it upside down, after we take the bed back off, and I'll go back in and I'll weld some stitches every little bit on them cross members underneath, and then that'll keep it from breaking and flopping. Then I'm hoping to just be able to stitch this outside and not have to do a solid bead. I'm hoping that it'll overhang just a little bit on this flat bar right here, and then I'll just go up through her putting stitches in it. And then when I put the rub rail, you'll never even know it was ever there. Like I say, I really think it's going to be fine. I'm kind of worried about how wide it is, but most of these trucks that these things have, they have 102 beds on them, 102-inch wide bed. This one's going to have 96, about 100-inch wide bed, but I think it'll look fine once we get all the skirt and everything that's on it. Once that skirt goes on it, I really think I think it's gonna look good. It just looks kind of funny looking now because there's nothing there, you know, it's just a big flat platform on the back of a truck, but I think it'll look a lot different tomorrow. All right, stay tuned. All right, folks, guys and gentlemen, just me and you. That's what we got. Headache rack, floors in it. These are for the mud flaps. Got them cut out. We're going to weld them up underneath there, and that way the mud flaps are a lot easier to put on when we get around to putting the mud flaps on. I got the jack on there because I got a little bubble in my floor. So we're going to take the jack and push the floor down. I'm going to get up underneath there, put some tacks in it to hold it down. Got all this skirting put on. It's all dressed up. I mean, she's pretty close. We're pretty close. Headache rack, cab protector, what you want to call it. Got it on there. It's pretty tall, I know, but remember, you got to put them lights on there. You got to put them up high enough to where you can see them over the cab. Otherwise, you don't get as much visualization with them. We got that put on there. We got some got a rub rail on. Got these pockets and stuff on there. They're on 12-inch centers. Good and stout. Good and stout. Put this on the front. That's kind of give your headache rack, your cab protector. Makes it good and stout. Got, I gotta go back and I gotta weld some up underneath here. I'm gonna put a couple more tacks, but then I'll get that after I have the, after I get the bed off, I'll weld the back side of that where you can't see it. And I gotta finish a couple things here and there. We wanted plenty good visibility out the back glass. He didn't want the guys backing into stuff and swearing up and down that they couldn't see. So you know we didn't want to close the visibility of that off. Got the back of her skirted good. Got all of her holes of her lights are cut out. The guys did an awesome job. Awesome job today. That's all I've done. My legs is about to kill me for where I've been standing on this concrete, getting on and off this truck, our bed and everything, welding. Done an awesome job with it. So I will probably, most likely, maybe do a little quick video when I get done and get the chain and everything off the trailer, or the truck bed, so you can see it all without anything on it. But I'll probably put this video together tonight, spit it out, and that way you guys got it. Then the next video you'll probably get with us will be when we're painting it and needle scaling the frame and everything down. Well, here we go, folks. It's about 9 o'clock. My eyes feel like I got sandpaper in them. It means it's time to go home. We went ahead and added a little gusset in there. I don't know how much I showed you on the last video or on the last clip, but went ahead and added a little gusset in there. I got all the seams all beaded up good. Got all the rub rail beaded up good. Got our mud flap. Got our mud flap brackets welded on. I'll finish that a little bit once I flip it upside down. And I got a little bit, I probably got about 45 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour of welding left to do once I flip it upside down where I can get up underneath it. Well, I don't know if I'll flip it upside down or not, but you get the point. I was going to add some gussets down this on the outside, some 3-inch cinch head on, kind of give him something to push against if you ever got it stuck, but then I'm afraid they'll push against it if they get it stuck. We added a little gusset in there to kind of give the skirt a little bit more robustness to it, and I wish I probably would have stuffed the hitch on up underneath the truck a little more, but Chump said he likes it like that because it makes a good step, and he's right, it does. It makes a real good step. I thought about maybe dressing this up, maybe putting a piece of plate or something down through there and kind of doing that, but I don't know, shoot. I could work on it for hours and days on end, and you know, it's a bed. It's gonna get beat up, smashed. It's a bed, but that's what she looks like. We added quite a few lights in it. Got a little apron skirt right there. I'm just gonna add a little light right here. I'm just gonna bolt it in. I ain't gonna cut it out in a circle or anything. I'm just gonna bolt it in. But yeah, that's what she looks like. We had a couple pieces of scrap plate laying around. I used it because that's about all I had left was like 10 inches, and I needed a little bit more. So I added that in there. I had to give him a nice, in case something happens, he haul a load of axles or whatever, and they start getting crazy. At least he's got a pretty good protector right there. He didn't want any restrictions on the vision. We had to have plenty of height for the top because he puts an overload sign, oversized load, wide load signs on top of these things when he's pulling these mobile homes and stuff. So he needed it up high enough to where we could, you know, it's all about functionality. I mean, yeah, if it was mine and I was building this for, you know, mostly looks or not really function, and that rack would be about 4 inches shorter. But for functionality, this is what we got to do, and I still think it looks good. Put a couple D-rings there on the back. That's way if he ever hauls anything on top of his rack or whatever. I know he's got these, but you know, man always needs a few extra D-rings here and there. I put 2 more up in the corners up there. Plus, you know, they ain't nowhere to hook on the. You can hook about right here, and then after that, there's nowhere to hook. So that gives him, on the very, very end there, he's got somewhere he can hook. But all in all, I think she turned out pretty good, folks. Of course, we'll probably have a couple videos there of us working on the very end of it and stuff, but that's the end of it. I'm going home. I'm tired. I got to fix the fuel neck there tomorrow. I'll probably pull it off and get a little bit of heat on it and straighten the bend out on it. I'm just going to fasten it up underneath there. That'll be fine, he said. So, all in all, there she is. Thanks for watching, folks.